Hello, welcome back to the iLog channel. My name is Casey, and thank you so much for joining me for a video today where I'm going to be talking about stuff related to the Nintendo Switch 2, but not involving a Nintendo Switch 2. It's not arriving until most likely tomorrow, but I do have the Pro Controller, so I thought, hey, why not compare the new Pro Controller and the old Pro Controller? So that's what this video is. I guess it's also kind of going to be an unboxing of the Pro Controller too, so yeah, if you like unboxings, we're going to do that now. There we are. Wow, it's a box. So, the first thing is the USB-C to USB-A cable. Wow, that's a cable, all right. Wow. Of all the cables I've ever seen, this sure is one of them. So yeah, it's a C to A. So just your standard stuff. Just gonna recoil that. Oh, there we go. Now here is the big thing, of course. The Pro Controller itself. Or Pro Controller 2, I should say. If you've heard, there's a lot of talk about this Pro Controller, about how smooth the sticks feel, and yeah, I can confirm they feel very smooth, and that's partially why I have a second microphone set up here. You can't see it, but there is a second mic, so we can do close-up, in-depth sounds. Because the only way I think you can really convey the difference between the sticks is through the sound. But before we get to that, I just want to talk about the overall look and feel of the controllers. Nintendo claimed that they redesigned the Pro Controller from the ground up. I mean, you can kind of see it in some places. It does look a little bit different. But I mean, it's so similar. It's so very similar. I mean, the profiles are almost identical, if not totally identical. The back, you know. Obviously, the biggest difference is the types of materials being used, and there's some differences in the layout. Obviously, on the Pro Controller 1, you kind of have this large central unit, and then the grips here, kind of, they screw on, and they're here, so you have this kind of diagonal line forming across the face. Here, you still have that diagonal, but it actually continues along the bottom, so it's like the whole face is one plate, and then the grip section is a second. This is the unit, and then the face is kind of on top of it. Whereas this one, the face feels like it is the unit with the controllers on top of it. Minor differences. The original Pro Controller is, this transparent plastic. Barely transparent. It's borderline just opaque. The grips, feel tacky, especially like this one's probably maybe a year old. I didn't really get a Pro Controller till much later in my Switch's life. I got the Switch in November of 2020, and I think I didn't get this Pro Controller till like 2024. So, you know. So it's not terribly old or used, but, you know, it feels grippy. It picks up a lot of your oils on your hands, you know. But it does feel good. It is a remarkably good feeling controller. The worst thing about it is really the D-pad. You can very easily get accidental inputs on it. If you're pressing up or down, you can accidentally press left or right. And if you're pressing left or right, you can accidentally press up or down. The Pro Controller 2 is, I mean, even just after touching this, like my hands feel kind of oily, but like you hold it and it's like this very dry feeling plastic. It's like it's coated with cornstarch, but it's not. But it feels like it has almost like a powder coating that's just like dry to the touch. In stark contrast, the GL and GR buttons on the back are kind of have like a little bit more of this tacky feel of the original. So you have this very interesting textural difference between those, and it makes the buttons really easy to find, even though visually the buttons look almost to be the same plastic as the rest of the body. They do feel just that little bit different. So I don't know what's going on with the body, why it feels so dry to the touch, but it feels good. The buttons, I mean, the buttons feel like how you'd expect. The D-pad, I cannot confirm how easily you can get accidental inputs. I mean, I can definitely feel as I rock back and forth on the top position, I can kind of feel it's pressing the other directions, but in gameplay it might not be as bad. I don't have my Switch 2 yet, so I can't test that out. Definitely the plus and minus buttons, I mean, kind of have a decent click to them, but these ones are a little bit more raised. Like there's more travel, they feel more like a button, which I kind of like. I think it'll make them easier to find without looking. I've definitely had a few times where I've gone to hit plus or minus and I've hit home or screenshot, or vice versa. I've gone to hit home or screenshot and I've hit plus or minus. So I definitely like those being different heights. You can kind of see if I look at it from the side. I don't know how well that's going to show on camera, but the plus and minus buttons are raised up. The triggers, they feel identical to me. If you know, if I had a blindfold on and I had these two controllers in my hand, I'd probably be able to tell this one's the Switch 2 because it feels different, feels drier, but those feel the same. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the mold is... Well, you know what? This one's... The Pro Controller 2 is actually a little bit thinner. Or at the very least, the section of white plastic on the Pro Controller is thinner than the section of glossy plastic here on the back of the original Pro Controller. So that's interesting and notable. Are the actual controllers thinner? I'm just taking a look. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but the Pro Controller 2 might be a little bit thinner. Other differences are the lights that show you which controller you have, if you're 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 8. They actually go 1 through 8. They have a little code, so it's like first light and then second light is 4 or something, and it has like a little counting system, so you can see if you're, 5 through 8 as well. But here on the original Pro Controller, that's down there on the bottom. Now it's on the top, which actually makes it harder to see without, flipping the controller quickly to yourself. The layout is pretty much identical. The buttons here, face buttons, feel actually pretty good, but they are laid out in the same kind of oblong pattern. I don't know if you've ever noticed on a Pro Controller, the face buttons aren't laid out in like a perfect equal square. Like the A and the Y button are one distance from each other, and then the X and the B are actually a closer distance together. So it's kind of squished a little bit this way. The Pro Controller 2 maintains that. But the distance between B and A and Y and X are the same. So it's almost less like you're supposed to look at it as a cross and look at it as more two sets of diagonal buttons, if that helps with your conceptualization of it. And as for the buttons, if I bring them up here, that's the Pro Controller. So the Pro Controller is a little bit, I don't know, the original Pro Controller feels kind of like that plastic's just in there. It's a little bit clicky. The Pro Controller 2 still feels like it's a nice press, but the sound is a bit softer. So that's interesting. It looks like the face buttons are also that same, like, drier plastic. It's pretty easy for the original Pro Controller buttons to get pretty oily, but the 2 feels drier, although it's also, you know, new and hasn't been used a lot, so we'll see how it holds up over time. Let's do the other thing now, which is the sticks. Now, they do feel remarkably different, and the Pro Controller 2 does feel remarkably better. But you can't really convey that through video. Now, through sound, I think is the best way to convey this. So if you will, you know, if you haven't been listening much through this video, if you will take a close listen now, this is what happens if you rock the Pro Controller stick, the original, back and forth. If you spin it, you can kind of hear this slight grinding noise. And of course, when you hit it against the walls, it's hard. Now with the Pro Controller 2, if I it's much quieter. It's like it's been dampened somehow, but it doesn't feel dampened, it just feels really smooth. And then if I rotate it around, you're actually hearing more of the sound of my hand rubbing against the finish of the controller than you are the stick. Let me try to isolate that more. I mean, you can hear the faintest little sound when I rotate it. These sticks feel fantastic. I mean, these sticks felt okay, obviously. They're very loud, clicky as you rotate them. They do feel smooth, but these just feel like butter. And I know it is very hard to depict through video, and I hope I've done a decent job, at least with the sound, because just you have to have them in your hand. It really is. It's night and day. I also appreciate just it being softer, you know, for late night playing games. You know, if you're doing a lot of, you have to listen to that. You know, whereas this one, late at night, soft little. I mean, these sticks just feel so good. I do wish it was transparent. I like the transparency of the original. I wish it was more transparent. I love seeing, you know, transparent electronics with the circuit boards inside, but this one is totally opaque. Supposedly the battery's bigger. I'll take their word for it. I don't think they don't tell you on the back what the battery size capacity is, but I think it's out there somewhere, that information. Supposedly the battery lasts longer and maybe also charges quicker, I thought I remember hearing, though, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I look forward to being able to test it and actually use it on the console. As for other things, with the Pro Controller 2, obviously you have the headphone jack on the bottom. I have no idea how that sounds. I'll find out once I have a Switch 2 console. I'll find out once I have my Switch 2 console tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, the GL and GR buttons on the back, those are cool. Probably won't use them often. The one kind of big example I can really think of using is like the Batman Arkham games. You have to hold down the B button to glide, which means you then have to kind of do this if you want to move the camera around, or you have to do like this. Very awkward grip. So I see myself mapping the B button to one of these back buttons, which would free up my thumb for a natural feeling camera control. That's really the only major use I can think of. As for accidental presses, when your hands are gripped around, my middle finger, ring finger, and pinky are the ones on the actual like horns of the controller, the grips, and the way they wrap around, maybe if I was like really stressed Mario Kart holding the controller, you know, but I don't know. I feel like I can grip the controller and even grip it really tightly. I'm really gripping tight. You can't really see in the video, but I'm not pressing the buttons. You have to kind of indent. Let's see if I can show this. You have to kind of indent your middle finger, at least how I'm holding it, indenting the middle finger. So it's less that the tip of my finger's hitting it and more the middle knuckle section in between the second and third knuckle there, right? Just that little middle section is kind of pressing in. And then I can very easily hold it in a way where I'm not pressing them, and it feels about identical to how I'd hold this. This one feels chunkier. I think they made the grips narrower, maybe? Or they readjusted the contour to fit, because this does feel chunkier, and maybe even heavier. They're very similar weights, but I think this one's heavier, perhaps. Yeah, I don't think those buttons are going to be an issue. I think you have to make an effort to press them, at least my hands. I don't have, my hands are my hands, your hands are yours. You might have a different experience if you have, chunkier fingers than me, or shorter fingers or longer fingers. You might have a different experience. But hopefully it's a pretty, I hope everyone can find a way to hold this controller comfortably and not be mispressing those buttons. I hope it's as good for as many people as possible. I imagine Nintendo would have considered that when designing. Well, that's it for this video. I probably won't make an unboxing video when my Switch 2 arrives, just because there's a bunch of unboxing videos already. I just personally felt there was more of a need to compare the Pro controllers. I don't see much need to do an unboxing that a million other people have already done. Even like a week ago, there were some unboxings. So this won't be the last time I talk about Switch 2, but I don't have any immediate plans for follow-up videos about the Switch 2. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Casey from the iLog channel, and this is me signing out. Bye now.